Hey bosses, are you wasting time on Pinterest? Are you taking steps that you don't need to take? Basically, are you doing things on Pinterest that are a complete waste of time and not actually helping to progress your profile or get you more clicks or traffic? You might be. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 7 ways that you're most likely wasting time on Pinterest. These are things that you can stop doing because at the end of the day, they are not moving the needle when it comes to growing your Pinterest business account. So, hey, I'm Natalie Bardo, your Pinterest coach. And if you like these Pinterest tips, be sure to like this video. And of course, subscribe to my channel because I've got new videos coming your way each and every week. So let's talk about how you can take back time on your schedule from Pinterest, because I feel as if a lot of us feel stressed out as if we just don't have enough time to take on Pinterest as a platform. But these are 7 ways that you can cut back on all the minutes and hours you're spending on Pinterest. So up first, can we talk about designing board covers? Yes, I know that it's usually one of the first steps that we take when setting up a profile, but did you know that by creating board covers and organizing your boards into a nice order, that only you can see that? That when another person comes to your profile, your boards are all mixed up and placed in the order of the last pin that you pinned. So say you have board A, B, C, D, but the last pin you sent to board C, that's going to be the first board on your profile. So I'm going to show you what that looks like so you can see that if you're thinking, oh gosh, I got to design more board covers, don't even bother. So here we are on my profile, what I see when I log in. And check out how I've organized all my boards in order. I have some board covers, looks great, right? Now take a look at my profile when I'm logged in as someone else. Not in order. We've got boards that don't have covers. It's all mixed up. So if you're spending time trying to organize your profile, just know it's only for your benefit and no one else's, because only you can see it. And yes, even if you select for it to be sorted, how you've dragged and dropped it, Pinterest is not going to show it that way to anyone else. So that's the first way you're wasting time, is designing board covers and organizing your boards on your profile. And the second way is stressing out about monthly Pinterest views. I am so tired of seeing in Facebook groups people saying, oh gosh, my views are falling. What we really need to be looking at is outbound clicks. Nothing else really matters. I'm going to say that again. Monthly views do not matter. Yes, they are an indication of how many people are seeing your pins, how large your reach is, but at the end of the day, all that matters is really and truly outbound clicks to your website, because that's how you're going to grow your traffic, get email subscribers, and eventually make those sales. And I'm saying that as someone who about a month ago had 16 million views, and I'm down to about 6 million. It's a huge drop. But when I look at my analytics, I see that at the end of the day, I'm still getting roughly the same amount of clicks, no matter if it's 16 million views. Yes, that's an aberration. And usually it's because I have a lot of seasonal content. So my content skyrockets during that period. But once that wave is over, I do settle down and I am getting a consistent amount of clicks. So start looking at outbound clicks. Resist the urge to feel all nice when you've got over 1 million views. Yes, it's great to see that you're progressing, but stop obsessing over it. Look at outbound clicks instead. So the third waste of time on Pinterest is trying to get followers. I see this all the time as well. How do I get more followers on Pinterest? How can I get more people to follow my accounts? Here's the thing. Followers don't matter all that much on Pinterest. Remember, Pinterest is a search engine, not a traditional social media site. On traditional social media sites, your reach is determined by your followers, not so much on Pinterest. Yes, Followers are important to the algorithm because when you add a pin, if your followers engage with that pin, Pinterest is more likely to show it to other people. But if you pin SEO the heck out of your content, optimizing all the right places, that's how you get discovered. It's not so much about your profile page, it's more about how well your individual pins are doing. So I'm one person who has spent zero time stressing about getting more followers, yet I still get consistent followers. I'll show you. So as you can see here, I've got about 66,600 followers on Pinterest. Crazy. I spent zero time attracting them. And if we go over to Tailwind, this is actually a great way for me to show you the growth that I've had on followers. So roughly every week, I gain around 90 to 100 new followers by doing nothing. I just pin content. I just keep sharing my blog posts and I just gain followers. So stop worrying about how to get followers and more worry about how to create better pins that are going to just organically get you followers. See how that works? It's all about the pin. Okay, so the next way that you're wasting time, and this is totally the fault of some of the older Pinterest teachers out there, people who've written blog posts that are from like 2015, somehow still get ranked in search results and are never updated, is telling people some BS 80-20 rule. Have you heard about it? It is bullshit. Sorry, but it's true. It's nonsense. The 80-20 rule is some old-timey way of using Pinterest saying that 80% of your pins should be other people's content and 20% yours. You're probably guessing what this way of wasting time is. If you're going to stick to this rule, you better flip it around. The majority of the pins on your profile, so that's the pins you're saving, are your own pins. They need to be your own pins, not other people's. So your priority needs to be on creating fresh pins and only your own pins. Once you've mastered that, sure, you can worry about doing some repins. It's only natural that other people's content is going to be on your profile, especially if you're in something like a Tailwind community. But you should definitely not be prioritizing this over your own content. So if you hear anyone say the 80-20 rule, ask them if it's 2015. That's how you respond to that one. Okay, so another way that you could be wasting time on Pinterest is adding hashtags to pins. Yeah, at the end of last year, they pretty much said that hashtags are dead. Yeah, we don't know why Pinterest even made hashtags a thing on their platform. Always trying to act like a social media site when you're not Pinterest. We know you're a search engine. So here's the thing. Hashtags, they may be clickable and searchable, but now basically they're just like keywords in phrases. If you put a hashtag or if you put the saying of the word, it's the same. I'll show you exactly what I mean. Let's go to Pinterest. All right, so I'm going to search for a hashtag, maybe start a blog. And what I'm saying by a hashtag and the words being the same is that by doing hashtag start a blog, it's the same thing as typing start a blog. So what happens if you are putting a bunch of hashtags in your descriptions? It can seem like you're stuffing your keywords, and your pin is not a turkey. By stuffing, it's like just throwing keywords that are not in sentences. So it would be like hashtag start a blog, hashtag blogger tips, hashtag start a new blog, hashtag start a lifestyle blog, hashtag. You can see how that seems absurd, how I'm saying it. So imagine if that's all in your pin descriptions. So I did hashtag start a blog, but if I click on one of these posts, you'll see that that hashtag isn't even in the description anymore. So when you're adding hashtags, Pinterest is reading your hashtag exactly like a keyword. So instead, just focus on using keywords. So am I saying never use a hashtag? I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if you're spending time searching for hashtags, don't even bother. It's a waste of your time. Just use the keywords instead. Optimize your pin descriptions with those keywords that you find in search. Let's move on to the sixth way that you're wasting time. You're pinning your pins to every single board that you have. So say, for example, you wrote a blog post on how to start a blog and you've got all of these boards on your profile. Blogging tips, blogging for beginners, how to start a blog, lifestyle blogger tips, and you're taking that pin and you're saving it over and over and over and over again. What you're doing is making your pin seem like spam, and your actions on Pinterest are spammy, which can get you in trouble and kicked off the platform, which we don't want. And what you're doing is actually pointless because the only pin that's actually going to show up is the first one you added. So by you repeating, you're actually not doing anything. The first pin is the one that's going to show up. So instead, focus on choosing one board that is the best possible choice for that pin instead of wasting your time adding it to all those other boards. And if you've got questions about whether you should be pinning to the group boards, be sure to check out my video on Are Group Boards Dead? Figure it out, check out that video, and you'll be able to make a better decision about where to put that pin. All right, here we are at our 7th way that you are wasting time. Tracking your pins. I get it. I'm an organization freak. I love a Google Sheet spreadsheet just as much as anyone else. But here's the thing. If you're spending so much time tracking your pins, you're actually wasting time. If you're just creating that pin and adding it to the most relevant board on your profile, you're going to know how to find it, right? It's not complicated. You're not adding it to 10 million boards where you lose track of things. And your best pins are going to automatically be super findable in analytics. It won't be difficult to find your best performing pins. All you've got to do is check your analytics. You see how you can save time just by doing that? Have you actually checked out Pinterest analytics? So here we are back on the Pinterest website. I'm just going to click on analytics and overview. So if you scroll down, you can actually see what your top pins are based on clicks. They're all listed right here. And you can even export the data right from Google Analytics. So we can see here that I'm on a crazy drop from my New Year's. But right here, there's an export button. You can actually just download all of this data. You don't need to track anything. So here we have a spreadsheet, and it's got links to all your top posts and all your top pins. So if anything, get into the habit of downloading this every 60 days or 30 days. That way you can keep track of what's what when. See how that works? You don't need to take time to track your pins if you're limited on time. So there you have it. Those are 7 ways that you're wasting time on Pinterest. There are also 7 things that you can stop doing. Don't worry about designing board covers or organizing your profile. Only you can see it. Stop stressing about monthly views. They're going to go up and down. What matters is outbound clicks. Focus on getting the click. Don't worry about trying to get followers. Just be awesome on Pinterest. People are going to want to follow you. And don't stress about some 80-20 rule. It's nonsense. You don't need to share other people's content. Focus on creating your own content. If you're wasting time searching for hashtags for your pins, just stop. Stop doing that. Focus on adding keywords to your descriptions instead. If you're repinning your pins to every board, stop doing it. Focus on that first place that you pin in the beginning. Make sure it's the best possible board. And of course, my last one is don't worry about tracking your pins. The best pins are just automatically going to float to the top and be very visible in your Pinterest analytics. So if you enjoyed these tips, be sure to like this video and comment below letting me know, how are you wasting time on Pinterest? Are you doing any of these things on a daily basis? Is this what's eating your time on the platform? And don't forget to subscribe to this channel because I just love being your Pinterest coach, and I'm going to have new videos for you each and every week. So bosses, I'm Natalie Bardo, and I'll see you in the next video.